Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Good morning. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. On this Tuesday, November 26th of 2024, it'll be a high near 47 today. We will have a complete Beaver County Radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandy Giordano reports an update on Sunday evening's accident in which a pedestrian was hit by a train on Route 51 and passed away as a result. A train from CSX hit a female in South Heights near North Street, and Beaver County Emergency Services was there to help the victim. Beaver County Coroner David J. Gaybauer identified the victim on Monday night as 69-year-old Diane D'Amico. A trauma of blunt force to her head, trunk, and extremities was labeled as her cause of death by Gaybauer, and he ruled that Miss D'Amico and her death was an accident. In Aliquippa this month, there have been a bunch of fires happening that are trying to be stopped by police. According to Aliquippa Police Chief John Lane, about a year ago, there were 6 fires that were identified. A woman that did not want to reveal her identity said that a West Aliquippa circuit board business owned by her husband was burned down by a suspect on November 14th, and that same person caused the other fires in Aliquippa. This woman was also aware that there were 13 buildings that also caught fire, and 2 days before it occurred, the suspect stole large items after breaking into the building since the person was living there. The investigation continues regarding these incidents of fires. According to a report from Pennsylvania State Police in Beaver, on Monday, a juvenile from New Brighton was arrested for harassing another juvenile from Hookstown. Police stated that this occurred on 693 Schaefer Road. After the arrest happened, police noted that they issued a citation after the incident. A bill introduced in Congress is facing backlash from over 130 nonprofit organizations that warn it could stifle free speech. Here's more from Zamon Perez.
The Stop Terror Financing and Tax Penalties on American Hostages Act would postpone tax deadlines for citizens who are unlawfully detained abroad or held hostage, but it would also give the federal government the power to remove the tax-exempt status of any nonprofit group it deems to be supporting terrorist organizations. Critics of the bill claim it would give President-elect Donald Trump the power to make those decisions about churches, universities, news outlets, and more. In Pennsylvania, Lisa DiPauli with the Center for Coalfield Justice says it could be used to stifle the environmental work they do.
The main issue for us is that it could take away our nonprofit designation, and it could take away our First Amendment rights. If stripped of our rights, it'll just make the fight to protect our communities that much harder.
Proponents say it would require the federal government to provide evidence that a nonprofit has supported a listed terrorist organization.
According to the Transportation Security Administration, more than 2.8 million people will be traveling today for Thanksgiving. Airlines in Pennsylvania and beyond are experiencing new offers to customers that cause refunds to be made automatically because of a rule from the Department of Transportation that was made at the conclusion of October. If the cancellation of a flight occurs or there is a delay lasting several hours, there will be an immediate refund to the traveler with no paperwork required. An additional connection to a flight, as well as delays of 3 hours for a domestic flight and 6 hours for an international flight, count for these refunds. These refunds also cover luggage being late as well, with 12 hours late being the set point for a domestic flight and a range of 15 to 30 hours late being the set point for an international flight.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny. It's going to be breezy today with wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. We'll see a high near 46. Increasing clouds tonight will drop down to a low around 31. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Look for a high of 44 and an overnight low around 36. And we'll see some rain through early afternoon on Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, look for partly cloudy skies, a high near 42 and a low around 30. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's a look at the news for now. I am Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Teleforum is on the air on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. The show is presented by East Rochester and Tusca Shop and Saves. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
Just in time, she showed up. If you're watching her on our Facebook page, you can see Sandy Agley, Beaver County Treasurer. Just in time, you showed up. I've been gone for 4 days, and I was going off the deep end. And at this point, it's nice to see a friendly face. How you doing?
I'm great. How about you? Thanks for having me. And I was here 15 minutes early. It wasn't just in time.
No, just in time for my emotional needs.
Okay.
Sandy Agley is the Beaver County Treasurer, and that means she takes care of a lot of things. We're going to talk about some of those things. And we're also going to check in with Frank and Gary are at Fisher's Foodland, 9th Street in New Brighton, taking drop-offs, taking donations, and it benefits not just senior citizens, but Beaver County senior citizens. And you're here to talk about, among other things. Now, I got a question for you. We'll get the dog licenses, okay?
Yep. Well, yes,
okay.
Because that's my main purpose
Is
today.
it easier? It's nice to have one focused target on a day, isn't it? Dog licenses?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I'm actually off today, so I shouldn't be focusing on anything. But
Are you really?
yeah.
So you're not getting paid for this?
Well, I am getting paid. Yes, government employee. Yeah.
That brings to my question. Is it getting easier, more difficult, or not changing at all being a government employee?
Well, the jobs that you go through, things morph into new things. And like right now, we're going through a countywide reassessment. So it's not easy. It's not easy. The assessment office started a new program last year and this year. Next year is going to be mine. So
Wait, back up. What does that mean?
You're
going to get assessed?
No, a new computer system as to how we calculate, do bills, put all of the money into
software?
Off software. Yeah.
Why does it spread out? It seems like in one fell swoop, or is that just
Well, we could
overloading?
have done it both together, but if you have an error, then you don't know who to point to.
The crux of government.
Well, that was my idea.
How long are you going to do this? Because you and I know this. If you want to be the treasurer, you can be the Beaver County treasurer for a long time, if you want to.
Well, thank you to Beaver County for allowing me to do that. And I think that I've instilled a little bit of trust in that. And I enjoy it, and I'm accessible. So if anybody needs to talk to me, I answer my phone. I'm there 8:30 to 4:30. I'm out in the public. If they want to get a hold of me, they get a hold of me. So I think that they appreciate that.
I'm not brown nosing here, but what you said's absolutely. I don't ever remember getting in touch with you and say, "Hey," and you saying you can't. That is not the case for many people.
Not when I was commissioner. I was here every month for Commissioner Corner. I mean, I take pride in my job, and I think people realize that and appreciate that.
What satisfaction do you get from your job? Because I know a paycheck. That's most jobs, but
I took a pay cut to take this job, so I
really?
haven't gotten to where I was yet. But we did that because I felt that I could contribute to something good, and I'm really glad that I ran when I was commissioner because the county was in financial dire straits. I mean, we had like 2 weeks worth of payroll.
Really?
It was really bad. Really, really bad. Yeah. Our first 6 months when I was commissioner, we had to refinance bonds. We did an early retirement. 77 people retired. I mean, we cut contracts left and right because there was no work product that they gave us, and we're paying for it. And that's what happens when you have people in that have been there for a very long time, and they're just, yeah, okay, yep. Nope, time out. We're going to go through all of it. And we went line by line.
Sandy Agley is the Beaver County Treasurer. She's my guest. I'm not going to drag national politics into this, but one of the themes going on, countrywide is government waste and too much government. What would your thoughts be on that? Because in a way, it sounds like that's sort of what you just described. How wasteful are we at a county level?
Well, you hear that these omnibus bills go through, 9,000 pages at midnight. They pass it, and they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink in. I think that there is government waste, and I think that if you could sit down at any desk in that courthouse, you would find that you could trim something. I do believe that. I think that we're trying to be as cost effective as we possibly can. I mean, to the point where, I've taken off a stamp off of something that came back that, you can reuse. So because it wasn't gone through the post office yet.
So Beaver County is so poor we're reusing stamps.
No. Well, we're frugal.
Frugal, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So I make sure that the tax dollars are well taken care of and were used properly. Yeah.
How much bristling does that bring up when you deal with other aspects of Beaver County government? No, you don't got to name names.
I think that the elected officials that I work with right now, they're very good. I enjoy working with them. I don't have an issue with anyone. Yeah. So I kind of think that they've made the right choices here in January when we all started our new term. So it's a 4-year term. So I will be in there for 3 more years. Haven't decided. So, yeah, I know you were going to ask. I haven't decided on whether I'm going to run again.
What would decide that? Assuming everything and your health and life balance and all that stuff is good, what's going to make you decide that? How in the next 3, whatever years go?
Whether my financial planner gives me the nod.
Whether
my financial planner, if I can retire.
You're going to be one of those weirdos that can afford to retire when you retire?
Yeah. I have a son who's got another 1.5 years in at Penn State. Get him through college. Yeah. And then we'll see. We'll talk.
Is he going to come back? What's his degree going to be in?
He went to Barcelona last summer, and he got that bug to travel. So he probably won't come back to Beaver County.
Do you have a basement?
Yes, I do.
I'm just giving you a heads up. A lot of plans change.
Yeah. Well, all 3 of my children know that they can always come back. Always.
And that's the mistake.
Yeah.
That's the basement. You came here to talk about dog license. I'd rather talk about dogs and cats than people. All right. So don't go anywhere.
Okay.
If I got this right, I'm going to be talking to Frank Sparks at Fisher's Foodland. If I got this wrong, well, we'll see, won't we? Hi.
Hi. I think you have it right.
Blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while, my friend. What's going on at Fisher's Foodland?
Notice a trend here, class of 84, and we all say we're going to retire as quickly as we can. There's like a trend there, you know what I'm saying?
She's giggling.
Anyways, all right. Well, we're down at Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. Gary Miller's with me. I'm Frank Sparks, along with Sheila Dambaugh as well. We do have the prize wheel out today, and today is the first day that we have Mr. Squishy out and about, too, that you can win a Mr. Squishy. Eddie, make sure you give Sandy a Mr. Squishy out of my office so she has one.
How does that not really count? Cool. How would that not count as a bribe, dude?
It's not. It's a friend giving a friend a gift. How's that sound?
Fair enough. Okay.
And for Thanksgiving, since we don't have turkeys, we're going to give her a squishy instead of a turkey. How's that?
All right. That's a noun, not a verb. Please continue.
All right. So we are collecting for seniors. We have different things. We're looking for non-perishables, even blankets, pillows such as that, puzzles, games, different things for seniors who, it's wintertime, they're in the house a lot. And, so that's why we're collecting these items, so we can collect them all, can them, bag them all up and hit them out to seniors during the Christmas holiday. We have 3 remotes. Today is from 10 until 12, and then we'll have another one coming up on the 7th of December and a final one on the 14th of December. And once we have all that, we will package that all up, and we will give that all to needy seniors throughout Beaver County. We do have the prize wheel out, as I said, the birthday prize wheel. We've got candy from Roseland Candy here. Also have Mr. Squishies. Plus, the winners can also, anybody that's a winner on the prize wheel, also possibly could get some free lottery tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery as well. Some Christmas scratch-offs. Let's see, which one we got this year? Gifts Under the Tree is what we have. So people can win those as well. And this remote here at the Foodland in New Brighton is brought to you by Patriot Home Care, eXp Realty, that's the team of Lisa and Tank Latham, J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Ford RX, and, of course, our good friend Mike Fisher here at Fisher's Foodland as well. So stop out. We'll be here till 12 noon, and we will check back in with you a little bit later on, Eddie.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we will. After news, it's going to be more with Sandy Agley. While you were talking, she goes, "What's a squishy?" And I said, $5.
Oh, you got to give her a Mr. Squishy.
I'm going to give her a good Mr. Squishy, buddy. Get in good with the treasurer. If anybody gets a squishy, what good does it do if I give Manning a squishy? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He deserves a squishy.
I'd give him a squishy too. Yes, I would.
All right.
News is
All
next.
right.
Sandy Agley, Frank Sparks is at Fisher's Foodland with a cast of millions.
What's your favorite Christmas memory? We all have our own. Join Rosalind Candy Castle and Beaver County Radio each Friday and share your favorite Christmas memory with Eddie Crow on Teleforum. Here's your chance to share some of the things that have made your Christmases past so very special. Just call in, share your memories, and win a delicious box of Rosalind Candy Castle chocolates. That's every Friday, now until Christmas, right here on Beaver County Radio.
Make the holiday special with a delicious box of chocolates from Roseland Candy Castle in New Brighton. For over 100 years, Roseland Candy has continued to demonstrate unmatched passion for chocolates. Roseland chocolates are made from scratch with only the finest and freshest ingredients. Roseland's has luscious cherry cordials, peanut butter meltaways, chocolate-covered pretzels, and so much more. Come visit the area's chocolate experts in New Brighton. Roseland's will ship their fresh homemade chocolates to your friends and family directly from their store. Order online at roselandcandy.com. And remember, Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without Roseland Candy Castle.
Roseland Candy Castle can ship your chocolates anywhere. Visit online at roselandcandy.com. Celebrate the holidays with chocolates from Roseland Candy Castle on 5th Avenue in New Brighton.
There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened. Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at fwdrx.com.
95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com, invite you to tune in to Sounds of Faith. Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 for a mix of the best sacred music of all time. Sounds of Faith is brought to you by Crawford Tire and Beaver, the William Murphy Funeral Home, City Rescue Mission, MRS Physical Therapy, Circle of Friends, J&J Spratt Funeral Home, and Rome Monument and Inspirational Gifts. Sounds of Faith. Uplifting, relaxing, and inspiring radio. Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny. It's going to be breezy today with wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. We'll see a high near 46. Increasing clouds tonight will drop down to a low around 31. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Look for a high of 44 and an overnight low around 36. And we'll see some rain through early afternoon on Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, look for partly cloudy skies, a high near 42 and a low around 30. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
It is cold, it is rainy, it is Wednesday, it is Thanksgiving week. It is Sandy Egley in the studio with me, the Beaver County treasurer. We've got more to talk about next after the news. Also, Frank and Gary and Sheila are at Fisher's Foodland taking donations to help senior citizens here in Beaver County. Here's what you can bring, and not accidentally, everything on the list is available at the Fisher's Foodland. Blankets, soap, lotion, socks, large print books, games, puzzles, towels, gift cards, canned juice, ready-to-eat cereal, rice, pasta, dry beans, peanut butter, and the like. Go by and spin the prize wheel. You can win things and check out the new band. I know it looks good. Her sister station, the Beaverhead's the size of a Volkswagen. It's stunning. I'll talk more with Sandy after news about dog licenses.
Hey, Mom, look at this. It's Community Christmas Celebration Flyer. Can we go?
Let me see that. Oh, it's at the Fellowship Hall of Grace Lutheran Church in Rochester, PA on December 7th, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, they'll have Santa, crafts, face painting, and even a reading of The Night Before Christmas.
That sounds wonderful. And cookies and wassail will be served. Delicious. It's so nice to unite for Christmas and celebrate as a community.
So, can we go?
Absolutely. This sounds like a perfect way to get into the Christmas spirit.
Thank you, Mom. I'm so excited.
Join us for the Community Christmas Celebration at Grace Lutheran Church in Rochester, PA on December 7th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Don't miss the Beaver Valley Choral Society's Carols by Candlelight concert that follows. Gather your family and celebrate the season with us.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the Best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
The place for news, sports, and entertainment. You're listening to Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and WBVP, live from the all-new Fry Transportation Studios.
What's your favorite Christmas memory? We all have our own. Join Rosalind Candy Castle and Beaver County Radio each Friday and share your favorite Christmas memory with Eddie Crow on Teleforum. Here's your chance to share some of the things that have made your Christmases past so very special. Just call in, share your memories, and win a delicious box of Rosalind Candy Castle chocolates. That's every Friday, now until Christmas, right here on Beaver County Radio.
When the weather turns bad, you can now do two things. First, tune to Beaver County Radio for the latest cancellation announcements, and second, go to beavercountyradio.com and access our all-new closings and delays widget that is active anytime that there are weather-related events. If snow's got you covered, so do we at Beaver County Radio. Beaver County Radio social media and beavercountyradio.com. Snow Watch is presented by Monroe Auto Body, the Lisa Latham team at eXp Realty, the cornerstone of Beaver County, and Beaver County Radio.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WMBA can get you results. Get more information at beavercountyradio.com.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Good morning. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. On this Tuesday, November 26th of 2024, it'll be a high near 47 today. We will have a complete Beaver County Radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandy Giordano reports an update on Sunday evening's accident in which a pedestrian was hit by a train on Route 51 and passed away as a result. A train from CSX hit a female in South Heights near North Street, and Beaver County Emergency Services was there to help the victim. Beaver County Coroner David J. Gaybauer identified the victim on Monday night as 69-year-old Diane D'Amico. A trauma of blunt force to her head, trunk, and extremities was labeled as her cause of death by Gaybauer, and he ruled that Miss D'Amico and her death was an accident. In Aliquippa this month, there have been a bunch of fires happening that are trying to be stopped by police. According to Aliquippa Police Chief John Lane, about a year ago, there were 6 fires that were identified. A woman that did not want to reveal her identity said that a West Aliquippa circuit board business owned by her husband was burned down by a suspect on November 14th, and that same person caused the other fires in Aliquippa. This woman was also aware that there were 13 buildings that also caught fire, and 2 days before it occurred, the suspect stole large items after breaking into the building since the person was living there. The investigation continues regarding these incidents of fires. According to a report from Pennsylvania State Police in Beaver, on Monday, a juvenile from New Brighton was arrested for harassing another juvenile from Hookstown. Police stated that this occurred on 693 Schaefer Road. After the arrest happened, police noted that they issued a citation after the incident. A bill introduced in Congress is facing backlash from over 130 nonprofit organizations that warn it could stifle free speech. Here's more from Zamon Perez.
The Stop Terror Financing and Tax Penalties on American Hostages Act would postpone tax deadlines for citizens who are unlawfully detained abroad or held hostage. But it would also give the federal government the power to remove the tax-exempt status of any nonprofit group it deems to be supporting terrorist organizations. Critics of the bill claim it would give President-elect Donald Trump the power to make those decisions about churches, universities, news outlets, and more. In Pennsylvania, Lisa DiPauli with the Center for Coalfield Justice says it could be used to stifle the environmental work they do.
The main issue for us is that it could take away our nonprofit designation, and it could take away our First Amendment rights. If stripped of our rights, it'll just make the fight to protect our communities that much harder.
Proponents say it would require the federal government to provide evidence that a nonprofit has supported a listed terrorist organization.
According to the Transportation Security Administration, more than 2.8 million people will be traveling today for Thanksgiving. Airlines in Pennsylvania and beyond are experiencing new offers to customers that cause refunds to be made automatically because of a rule from the Department of Transportation that was made at the conclusion of October. If the cancellation of a flight occurs or there is a delay lasting several hours, there will be an immediate refund to the traveler with no paperwork required. An additional connection to a flight, as well as delays of 3 hours for a domestic flight and 6 hours for an international flight, count for these refunds. These refunds also cover luggage being late as well, with 12 hours late being the set point for a domestic flight and a range of 15 to 30 hours late being the set point for an international flight.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny. It's going to be breezy today with wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. We'll see a high near 46. Increasing clouds tonight will drop down to a low around 31. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Look for a high of 44 and an overnight low around 36. And we'll see some rain through early afternoon on Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, look for partly cloudy skies, a high near 42 and a low around 30. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's a look at the news for now. I am Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
It is Teleforum. It is a good way to start after having been gone for a few days. Sandy Agley, Beaver County Treasurer, is my guest in the studio. And this is being live Facebook feeded. It's always good to talk to you. We'll talk Frank Sparks in a little bit. Frank and Gary and Sheila are at Fisher's Foodland. That's 415 9th Street in New Brighton. Collecting stuff for not just seniors, but Beaver County seniors. And you go down there, you can win things. I mean, in addition to winning the joy that it is to see Frank Sparks. Sandy, you giggled a bit.
It's a joy.
How long have you known each other? Your whole life had to be. Didn't you graduate together?
Since I was 5. Yeah.
Since you were 5?
Yeah. Yeah, we went to school together. And my last name was Smith, and he was Sparks. So our lockers were side by side.
The whole trip
Yep.
through homeroom too?
Yeah.
I got so many questions about his puberty, but this is not the venue for that. All right, what we are going to talk about, and how many years? This is 2 or 3 years that you've come in to talk about dog licenses. It's a little bit.
It's been a little bit.
What has changed? Is it easier?
Well, the rates just changed.
Okay.
Which is not.
You're going to stomp my buzz.
I know.
Right.
It always is. This is a state program. This is not a county program.
Oh, it's one of those, you got nothing to do with it, but you're the face of it.
I am.
Okay.
I am. And when I increase, it's not me increasing it. It's the state telling me to increase it for you. So it went from
dang state.
Yes, from $4 to $6. Now it's $8 or $6 and $8. So regular license is $8.70 and a senior license is $6.70.
That's a senior person, not the senior pet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And then a lifetime is now the regular is $52.70 and the lifetime with a person with a disability or a senior is $36.70.
That's okay. That's a lifetime though.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
what is? I'm not being snarky when I ask this. I want you to explain why this is important. Why does my dog have to have a license? Do my cats have to have a license?
No.
That's quite canine-ist.
Don't give them ideas, because I really actually consider this a tax. We're taxing an additional tax for you. That's
just call
how
it
I feel.
Just call it a pet fee.
Yeah. Well, it's a tax.
Yeah, it is a tax.
I don't like it, but this is the way it is.
All right, I got Rover, and I say I ain't paying it, and what happens?
You can be fined $300 for not having a dog license.
Really?
Really.
And who's coming to my door to tell me about
The
that?
dog warden.
The dog warden.
And your fee that you're going to pay for your dog license pays for the dog warden to come give you a $300 fine.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like drug dealers selling their cars away. Okay.
It does fund a lot of really good things, helps the Humane Societies, helps with the officers that go out and investigate dog bites.
It pays for services that we expect.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. You're not going to have strays running around the neighborhood and causing havoc and biting people and scaring the mailman.
Has nobody complained that it only applies to dogs?
Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. People ask me that a lot, and I said, shh, don't give them ideas. I just, yeah.
How much would you think a hamster license would be, like 50 cents or something?
Well, I don't think hamsters are real dangerous. So you don't hear about people going to the hospital because they've got bit by their hamster. So
I'm really surprised some dog owner hasn't gotten all militant about it and say, hey, you ain't popping cats. What's up?
That's a state program. So, and they hadn't increased their prices in 15, 20 years, something like that. So they just now increased their prices. So this is new.
Well, over 15 years, you understand the inflation.
Prices go up. I get it. Yeah.
What other taxes exist that you don't think need to exist? Because I agree with you 100%. You're taxing my loving pet, loving nature. If you're smirking if people are watching this on Facebook.
Well, there's along with the dog license that state tells me what to do. We also have small games of chance, bingo.
I don't know what you're allowed. Can I say it?
What?
Gambling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but this is for all of the nonprofits. So the fire stations, I mean, they're all volunteer. The way they make their money is to hold a bingo game.
Casino night.
And the state comes down and says, I want a piece of that. Give me $125. Now you can play bingo.
Do they send Gus, the groundhog, to strong arm people?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do you view that the same as when you walk into a store and you see 5 or 6 or 7 people all sitting on their own machine, shoveling money in?
So that's not part of the
What's
small
that
games
part
of
of?
chance. That is through the liquor license or a license that somehow the grocery store owns. I don't have any part of that. To me, that's gambling. Yeah, that's gambling. But a small game is a chance. Small games of chance is
a way to make
categorized.
Gambling sound quaint.
It has to be, I give you something for you getting a chance on something that is unpredictable, completely unpredictable. There's no way that I could tell you
it's a raffle.
You're gonna. Well, yeah, raffle 50-50.
Right.
If you even at the baseball games, little league games, you buy a 50-50 ticket, they have to have a small games of chance license to do that, and it has to be done by an 18-year-old. Now, when my kids were in little league and playing baseball, all the 8-year-olds were carrying around the bucket for the 50-50, yelling
Sure.
50. Yeah, that's not supposed to be. But, that it's until somebody comes down and says, So that's the way it goes.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
If it is a random game of chance and it's a benefit, you're providing charity because we do them for our car shows and for our
Right.
and people love it and we love it and the money
Right.
and we're helping out.
Yeah.
That I understand.
Right.
The machines where I see people
Yeah.
just shoving dollar after dollar.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
okay,
agree.
I'm not saying that's bad, but
Right.
who's in charge of that? That looks like
Yeah.
a lot of money that could save us money on
that's-
dog licenses.
That's out of my lane.
How much better are you at saying it's out of my lane now than when you started in politics?
Yeah, I look back at myself back before I got, when my first year as commissioner, and I've grown leaps and bounds. I think anybody who is, my age, looking back, if you're not growing, it's a problem. But I think so.
How much of that applies to what you do for the county? I'm serious. If you're not growing, it's a problem.
Well, in my office, I stress education and growing. So a couple of my girls have just gone to CCBC for an Excel class. We all just took an ethics class. I make sure that my people in my office know that education is a high priority for me.
How frustrating is it when you see other departments not apply that same gung-ho?
Out of my lane.
Out of my lane. You don't ever want to pull over a little bit?
I will suggest
Okay.
there is a class coming up. If you would like to participate, here you go.
What's the biggest single issue that we have in Beaver County right now in the eyes of the treasurer's office? Because that involves everything.
I would like lower taxes, and I think everybody else would too. I think that our
How realistic is that?
Well, because of the reassessment, the commissioners have vouched, I believe, that they're going to not raise taxes this year. So I don't know about next year. Depends on what the budget comes through as. But I do believe that the seniors should have a lower price or a discount. That would be nice. But
a discount
you would
on
have
what?
your taxes. Mm-hmm.
Why do seniors pay school tax?
Because the schools need the funding.
Do you do understand the frustration of somebody
I do.
60, 70, 80 years old still paying school tax?
And the school tax is much higher than the county or municipal. That's what's really killing a lot of people this year, because I know in Beaver that the school tax, mine doubled, and it's a struggle. And this is crushing people. And before we went through the reassessment, I attended countless board meetings, school board meetings, saying, please don't do any major projects until this reassessment comes through. You're building pools and you're building football fields and your track and you're getting all that. Please hold until you know what you're looking at. Then, if you can afford it, go for it.
Know what you got to pay. Check your wallet before. Have you heard this? Check your wallet before you walk into the store.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, did they?
No. Well, and the thing is there's an election, so we all voted. So you voted these people in, and like they say, they have consequences. So those are important choices when you vote. So and it affects your wallet, and especially the local races.
The most direct effect.
Yeah, they do. And that's the least attended election, which is really sad, but yet it's crushing you. The tax is crushing you. We have to start paying attention.
Do you think it's going to start getting where people are paying attention now that now things are actively not where they were money-wise?
No.
No? At least you're honest about it.
I am.
Beaver County Treasurer Sandy Egley is my guest. Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't? I'm going to check in with Frank and all of them down at Fisher's Foodland here in a second. What should I have asked you that I didn't? I love your honesty. Think it'll get better? No.
Donations for the Humane Society. On my program where you can renew your dog license, I put that at the end of your cart where you can throw in a donation to the Humane Society. This past year, I collected almost $2,000 online.
That's a lot of kibble.
I collected $2,000 when people send in their license. They added a check into that envelope, and then I hand it over. And then you drop your change into the jar at each one of my staff's window. We have little jars.
And it's all for the Beaver County Humane Society.
Almost $4,000 this year.
That's spectacular.
It is.
Forget that I mentioned anything about cat licenses, okay?
Okay. Hush.
Sandy Egley's been my guest, and she'll be back. Love talking to Sandy. Right now, I got to talk to my boss. Notice the slight diminishing enthusiasm. Fisher's Foodland is where Frank Sparks is, and Gary Miller and Sheila Dambaugh, and we're collecting for senior citizens, correct? Correct.
Absolutely, 100% correct. It's